our next few lessons make a special point of firming up your willingness to make your weak commitment strong. Your scattered goals blend into one intent. You are not asked for total dedication all the time as yet, but you are asked to practice now in order to attain the sense of peace such unified commitment will bestow, if only intermittently. It is experiencing this that makes it sure that you will give your total willingness to following the way the Course sets forth. Our lessons now are geared specifically to widening horizons and direct approaches to the special blocks that keep your vision narrow and too limited to let you see the value of our goal. We're attempting now to lift these blocks, however briefly. Words alone cannot convey the sense of liberation which their lifting brings. But the experience of freedom and of peace that comes as you give up your tight control of what you see speaks for itself. Your motivation will be so intensified that words become of little consequence. Your motivation will be so intensified that words become of little consequence. You will be sure of what you want and what is valueless. And so we start our journey beyond words by concentrating first on what impedes your progress still. Experience of what exists beyond defensiveness remains beyond achievement while it is denied. It may be there, but you cannot accept its presence. So we now attempt to go past all defenses for a little while each day. No more than this is asked, because no more than this is needed. It will be enough to guarantee the rest will come. Today's lesson is 182. I will be still an instant and go home. I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not home to you. And somewhere in your mind you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you, as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing so definite that you could say with certainty you're an exile here, just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. No one but knows whereof we speak. Yet some try to put their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet who, in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? We speak today for everyone who walks this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find, not recognizing what it is he seeks. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contains his restless mind. He does not understand he builds in vain. The home he seeks cannot be made by him. There is no substitute for heaven. All he ever made was hell. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again, the childhood of your body and its place of shelter are a memory now so distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks his father's house and knows that he is alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child shall go is holy ground. It is His holiness that lights up heaven and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, wherein our earth and heaven join as one.
It is this child in you your Father knows as His own Son. It is this child who knows his Father. He desires to go home so deeply, so unceasingly. His voice cries unto you to let him rest a while. He does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which he can return to breathe again the holy air that fills his Father's house. You are his home as well. He will return. But give him just a little time to be himself within the peace that is his home, resting in silence and in peace and love. This child needs your protection. He is far from home. He is so little that he seems so easily shut out, his tiny voice so readily obscured, his call for help almost unheard amid the grating sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does he know that in you still abides his sure protection? You will fail him not. He will go home, and you along with him. This child is your defenselessness, your strength. He trusts in you. He came because he knew you would not fail. He whispers of his home unceasingly to you. For he would bring you back with him, that he himself might stay and not return again where he does not belong, and where he lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. His patience has no limits. He will wait until you hear his gentle voice within you, calling you to let him go in peace along with you to where he is at home and you with him. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then will you hear his voice. So poignantly he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant, he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. Rest with him frequently today, for he was willing to become a little child, that you might learn of him how strong is he who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those who think he is their enemy. He holds the might of heaven in his hand, and calls them friend, and gives his strength to them, that they may see he would be friend to them. He asks that they protect him, for his home is far away, and he will not return to it alone. Christ is reborn as but a little child, each time a wanderer would leave his home. For he must learn that what he would protect is but this child, who comes defenseless and who is protected by defenselessness. Go home with him from time to time today. You are as much an alien here as he. Take time today to lay aside your shield which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raised against an enemy without existence. Christ has called you friend and brother. He has even come to ask your help in letting him go home today, completed and completely. He has come as does a little child who must beseech his Father for protection and for love. He rules the universe, and yet he asks unceasingly that you return with him and take illusions as your gods no more.
You have not lost your innocence. It is for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The Holy Child remains with you. His home is yours. Today he gives you his defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for all the toys of battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still an instant, and go home with him, and be at peace a while. So, such a helpful lesson to help you realize the need to become present, to release past and future goals. We'll be still one instant and go home. Stillness is peace. Stillness is releasing preoccupying thoughts, plans. Future thoughts and past thoughts. And he explains so clearly in the introduction that these lessons aim at releasing defenses. First, defenses need to be seen to be able to be released. You need to see how much defense there is in the mind and the preoccupation of being defensive, plans, the protection of the ego. It's all just defensiveness. The little things the ego would protect and defend. You need to look at them and see the meaninglessness. So yesterday was, I trust my brothers who are one with me. Today, I will be still an instant and go home. Both of them help to release defenses. I trust my brothers is to release what you have perceived in them. That you have made them limited by your own perception. So that also takes esteem first to see it, to see the perception and question it, to see the defensiveness and question it. So So yeah, these lessons are truly helpful for everyone who gives their mind to it. And very, very helpful to really do it, you know. This is why we want a quiet community in silence, so that you have space to really see those defenses in the mind, so that you can see the Christ child. He described the Christ child's voice has been shut off, been shut down. We need to give some space to see it, to feel it, to let this child go home in you, because it's you, it's your wish. It's beautiful. This is why we come together. This is why we practice. This is our main occupation for the mind, not the stuff we do, not the tasks. They are backdrops, because the stillness is fearful to the deceived mind, so we need some tasks. But to seek the stillness, to seek what these lessons talk about, is the main goal. Then we can return to tasks when when the mind gets occupied and more thoughts come up. But to give this time, this is crucial. This is what our inner being really wants. Does anyone have anything you want to lift up this morning? It's good. We can then allow this to be seen, see how even perhaps when we finish this meeting, will there be like a charge, what's next? You can observe these things in the mind. It's a defense. It's a defense against present stillness. When there is a charge, even excitement or fear, of course. These are defenses.